What does the Bible really teach? Jehovah's Witnesses try to appeal to people by telling them about the hope to live forever on the paradise earth. They read Genesis chapter 1 verses 28 and 29, which says, "Further God blessed them, and God said to them, to Adam and Eve, Be fruitful and become many, fill the earth and subdue it, and have in subjection the fish of the sea and the flying creatures of the heavens and every creature that is moving on the earth." So here Jehovah is commanding Adam and Eve to have children, to be fruitful, to populate the earth. And the rationale is they ask people, well, if Adam and Eve were obedient, then there would be, all of their children would have been born perfect. And they would have lived forever, because God said, if you eat from the tree, you will die. So what would happen if they didn't eat from the tree? And the answer would be to live forever. So Jehovah's Witnesses teach that Jehovah's original purpose was for the earth to be filled with righteous people, and that there would be no wickedness, there would be no sin, there would be no suffering, there would be no disease, there would be no death. That was Jehovah's original purpose. In the books that Jehovah's Witnesses study with people, they talk about a question: why does God allow suffering, and especially to innocent people? And Jehovah's Witnesses go back to the paradise, and they say that that was never Jehovah's intention for humans to suffer. Book that Jehovah's Witnesses use to answer many questions, reasoning from the scriptures. There's a subject on fate. And the question on page 142. When God created Adam, did he know that Adam would sin? And this is a very interesting statement to make here. I want you please think about what this says. If God foreordained and foreknew Adam's sin, and all that would result from this, it would mean that by creating Adam, God deliberately set in motion all the wickedness committed in human history. It says if God foreordained and foreknew, then he would be responsible for all the wickedness. It would mean that it means that God deliberately set in motion all the wickedness. Do you agree with that statement? That if he knew, he's responsible? Personally, I have a lot of trouble with this statement. Because there is a point with all the wickedness and suffering, God does know in advance something bad is going to happen. For example, with Cain and Abel. I'll read to you Genesis chapter 4. Genesis 4 verse 6. Then Jehovah said to Cain, "Why are you so angry and dejected? If you turn to doing good, will you not be restored to favor? But if you do not turn to doing good, sin is crouching at the door, and its craving is to dominate you. But will you get the mastery over it?" So this is a interesting situation here, because this question, will you get the mastery over it? You're hot with anger. Are you going to do good? or are you going to sin? Did Jehovah know that Cain is going to kill his brother? It sounds like at this point the choice is still up to him. But there would be a point when Cain did decide to kill his brother. You know, whether he's coming at him with the axe, Jehovah could have stopped that murder. He could have prevented Abel from being killed. There is a point where he knows that Cain is going to kill his brother. That he's determined in his mind, or he's making that, coming towards him. So I'm just going back to this verse. If God foreordained and foreknew Adam's sin, that would make him responsible for everything that happened afterwards. When God knows that Abel's going to kill his brother, and he doesn't stop it, is he responsible? Did Jehovah know that Satan was going to become Satan? Is it a coincidence that the very first person that he created, Jesus Christ, used his free will the right way? Is it a coincidence that the very first human pair failed the test and misused their free will and chose not to serve God, making all the children born in sin? Was that a coincidence? Was it possible for Adam and Eve to make the right choice? Was it possible for Adam and Eve to have perfect children? I'm going to read to you Job chapter 38, verses 4 and 7. This is where Jehovah's correcting Job in the end for his ignorance. Job chapter 38, verse 4. Where did you happen to be when I founded the earth? This word founded is going to be very important. We'll look at it. Tell me if you do know understanding. Verse 7. When the morning stars joyfully cried out together, and all the sons of God began shouting in applause. The Bible teaches that Jehovah and Christ, Jesus, made the earth in wisdom. They founded the earth in wisdom. I wasn't sure what the word founded means, so I Googled it. And it wouldn't define the word founded. It would define the word found. And I was thinking that the word founding means existence, beginning. And the internet uses establish or originate foundation, construct or base. So he's asking Job, where did you happen to be when I founded the earth? When he created the earth. And all the spirit world is looking on and applauding. I'm going to read to you Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 18. For this is what Jehovah says, the creator of the heavens, the true God, the one who formed the earth, its maker, who firmly established it, who did not create it simply for nothing, but formed it to be inhabited. I am Jehovah, and there's no one else. So Jehovah's Witnesses use this verse to say that, well, Jehovah had an original purpose for the earth to, he made the earth for a reason. He made a beautiful home and put 2 humans on the earth. And he told them to have children. He told them to fill the earth. He did not want them to make the wrong choice. So Jehovah's Witnesses are saying that this original plan had a slight diversion because they were not faithful. Now Jehovah has to. Now there's an introduction of wickedness, sin, and suffering and death. Now he has to remedy this problem by providing a seed, Jesus Christ, to redeem mankind, and we have to go through thousands of years of humanity to resolve issues that were raised by the devil, and to restore humankind to original perfection. All of which could have been avoided if they respected Jehovah's sovereignty, which Jehovah's Witnesses teach was an option. It was the original plan. By saying that was the original plan, they're saying everything that we're experiencing in the world was not Jehovah's intention. It was not his purpose. It was not his plan. It was not foreknown. As this book says, if God foreordained and foreknew, he did not foreknow. They use an illustration to show that Jehovah did not know. Page 141. The owner of a radio can listen to the world news, but the fact that he can listen to a certain station does not mean that he does. He must first turn on the radio and then select the station. Likewise, Jehovah has the ability to foreknow events, but the Bible shows that he makes selective and discretionary use of that ability, with due regard for the free will with which he has endowed his human creation. So please think about this. If you think God is all powerful, he knows everything, then he had to know Adam was going to sin by that logic. So they're saying, out of respect for this gift of free will, he doesn't use that ability. He doesn't tap into that foreknowledge. He's gonna. It's like there's a part of his brain he's not gonna access. I can know what he's gonna do, but just out of respect for his choice, I'm not gonna know. Does that sound a little bit strange? That God would sort of block off this knowledge within himself, out of respect for our gift of free will. I'm going to ask you something. If Jehovah created billions of intelligent people with free will, do you think it's reasonable that one person would rebel against God? We live on a planet where 99.9% of people are I'm going to say that differently. Jehovah's Witnesses believe that 99.9%, or even higher, 99.99% of this world is going to be eternally destroyed because they are misusing their free will. Because they are choosing. They're choosing not to worship God. So do you think it's reasonable that Jehovah and Jesus Christ, who found the earth with intelligence, with knowledge, with purpose, with intention, are going to give life and free will to billions of people, and they are all going to do the right thing? That Adam and Eve are going to do the right thing, and all of their children. Let's say Adam and Eve did the right thing. Or let's say Adam did the right thing and Eve didn't do the right thing. Or let's say for the first 200 years, everybody was doing the right thing. And then somebody stopped doing the right thing. And some of their children are being born in sin. And then you have all these perfect offspring, and you have all these wicked, sinful offspring, creating, some of them are, doing the wrong thing and making the world evil. Was it a coincidence that the very first human pair messed it up for 100% of human race? Is that reasonable? And the other thing to take notice is if Jehovah, with his infinite power and his infinite wisdom, original purpose, is not being realized right now, that means he's not getting his way. What God planned is not happening. The God of all, he didn't see this coming. His original purpose failed. So he had to go to, it's almost like he's going to a plan B, or the original purpose was put on hold. Do you think that's possible with the creator of the universe, that his plan was put on hold? And the only other possibility was that he knew this is all Jehovah and Jesus, before they started creating, were prepared for this. Wouldn't that make more sense? That, if you're looking at the laws of probability, even I believe Einstein made the comment, God doesn't play dice. You want to roll the dice and see what happens. Einstein said God doesn't play dice. When you look at the universe with the laws, so do you think Jehovah was looking at the laws of probability here, that the first creation, Jesus, what are the odds that the first creation is going to be faithful to me? You create 10 people. What are the odds they're all going to be righteously submissive to you?